You're listening to Positive Vibes with Shane Nikolic, making positivity and gratitude louder in a podcast world. Positive Vibes with Shane Nikolic. And good morning, and we're back.
Good morning, Shane. Hey, just curious, Shane Nikolic, is that Slavic? Slavic?
Actually, Nikolic, the way the story goes, from what I've heard anyway, Nikolic, or the Nikolic family, or at least the Nikolic family I come from, was originally from Russia. But apparently, from what I hear, we were kicked out of Russia 800 years ago for being bad people, quote unquote, bad seeds, people you know, I mean, just doing bad stuff, whatever. And of course, it was Russia 800 years ago, so it's like, I don't know, maybe they were like really harsh or whatever. And anyway, we were kicked out of Russia 800 years ago, and more currently come from Czechoslovakia.
Right.
And I think it was Czechoslovakia or Yugoslavia, wherever it was over there. That's where we caught where they caught the ship in the late 1800s and came over here to New York City and ended up in Seattle.
Okay, yeah.
Some of us.
I heard their name again. I was like, that just sounds so Slavic. So, is it Russian or what? What is he? What's going on there? Maybe you guys back then was maybe eating too many mushrooms back in the days. Maybe some bad people eating mushrooms. Get them out of here.
Maybe I don't know. But it's like actually I was looking on the census. I think it was the 1920 census. You can find these things online.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the 1920 census and found the exact address where my grandpa was living when he of course. No, that wasn't my grandpa wasn't even alive yet, but that was my grandpa's parents, or my grandpa's mom anyway, that lived at this address on Western Ave in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, wait a minute, because I was at one point I was delivering bar supplies all around the Puget Sound area.
Oh, okay.
And Seattle, I had a lot of deliveries downtown Seattle, and I remember delivering to somewhere there on Western Ave, right around that address, within a block or two, and I'm like, dude, I know right where that's at.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, a beautiful morning.
Yeah.
Again, we're back on, and Positive Vibes with Nick and Shane and his Positive Vibes show, and it's always a pleasure to be on with you.
Yeah.
And I would just remind you just now that we'll keep the Pope, everybody, keep the Pope in prayer. He's going in for surgery this morning. He has, I think, something with his intestines or something's going on with him.
Okay.
So they're taking him in for surgery right now. So keep him in prayer. He's the Pope. So he's high. He's considered a high-ranking individual, and everybody needs the Pope around to whisper the great words of wisdom and knowledge into our ears on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so keep him in prayer as well. It's always something on the news. It'll pop up, and it's amazing that our technology and our phones can connect us to around the world.
Yeah.
And we can get news like that. And I remember back in the day, we didn't have all this stuff when I was growing up, and everything was that either you go in and watch the TV, or you go get the newspaper, or you'll hear it through somebody talking about it, at church, or at the bus stop, or on the bus going somewhere, somebody talking about it. But now it's just phones. Phones give us everything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine we didn't have that, we're screwed.
Yeah, it's like back in the day before there were cars, you had to hop on your horse and go ride your horse hundreds of miles to get a message to someone, and then ride your horse all the way back.
I probably wouldn't probably be able to afford a horse back in the day. I'd jump on my burro, my little donkey, and then
exactly. And these days, you can just press a button or a couple buttons on your phone, and you can be having a video conversation with someone on the opposite side of the world.
Man.
And it's like, what?
It's just amazing, man. It's just amazing how we just get connected, and so everybody that's out there going out places to the beaches and all that, what they got 10 beaches that are closed down, they can't go into. So read the news. Don't go in the water. I heard you can get sick, really sick, if you go in the water. And I seen in the news early this morning, and they was talking about it, that don't go in the water.
Where's that at?
They got it all different, like 10 different beaches that I saw online that they said that don't go in the water, that they close them down so people don't get sick and on that bacteria. They got bacteria inside of it. So the ecology people, warn everybody not to go in the water.
Oh man!
So there was a lady she took her daughter to one of the places, and the daughter was wading in the water already, and they were like, "Hey, she's not supposed to be in the water." Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see that. I didn't even see it. I didn't even pay attention to the news. I just wanted to get out and take my daughter out to the water, and you don't want her in the water, and so she immediately took her out. But all the beaches are Irondale Beach Park, Point Whitney Tidelands, that's Jefferson County, King County, Saltwater State Park, Redondo County Park, Des Moines Beach Park, Carkeek Park, Mason County, Potage State Park, Toronto State Park, Belfair State Park. Thurston County, Burfoot County Park. So these are all the 10 ones that they, have listed to not really go in the water at all,
Okay, so it's more Thurston County and over on the peninsula.
That's what it looks like, more towards the peninsula, further out that way. I didn't see nothing here in Pierce County.
Cool, because I was going to double check. When you said that, I'm like, okay, I better double and triple check that before I go kayaking today.
You can still jump in the ocean, Shane. It's okay. Somebody will save you.
Because because I'm really looking forward to this. Just got my inflatable kayak delivered, and I got an inflatable life vest with that, and it's like, looking to get out there today, and
So Shane, a question I wanted to ask you was, how did MS affect you after you came out of your you was in a coma, right?
But they were two separate. Medically speaking, from my MS specialist, from what my MS specialist said, the two have nothing to do with each other, and
right.
She couldn't speak on whether or not there is a connection, because there is no proven fact or proven. It's not proven. It's not a total fact.
Okay,
but. My brain, I had a brain injury when I was a kid,
right.
When I was 11, fell out of the tree 40 feet, was in a coma for 2.5 months. And then after that, I had the recovery from that and had, symptoms.
So what, did you have to learn how to walk again and all that stuff?
Yeah. And then years later, after I'd been walking, running, riding a bike, driving, and everything, just living life. I was in a bad car accident, and it's again. This is not a physical. This is not nothing proved. So it's not necessarily a quote unquote fact.
Right.
But I believe that, or from research I've done, physical trauma is very often kicks off or brings to the forefront, brings
right.
out symptoms of multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
Like in my case, people don't know they have it, so I may have been at the very, very, very beginning stages of it, just developing in my body
Right.
for who knows how long.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I was in this car accident. The physical trauma of that triggered the symptoms, and hence I was, started having the vertigo.
So for you to how would somebody know what can you give them as a sign to know if they came about having MS? What would be the symptoms, the first symptoms or sign that you would direct towards them and say, this is your first sign that you look for or whatever?
For myself, the first symptoms I had were the vertigo, lightheadedness, dizziness, whatever. And it's like I still have it to this day, off and on. It comes and goes. Well, it's more of a constant, but it's more of instead of coming and going, like totally going,
right,
it's just stronger and weaker.
Okay.
And it's like, whereas like, if you're talking to someone and your voice gets louder and then your voice gets quieter, it's like that,
Okay.
It just goes up in strength and, then gets weaker. But when I get, like when my adrenaline gets flowing and I get running super fast, if I'm doing a sprint for say half mile or whatever,
right,
then, we're just running my heart out. Then it's like, by the time I get to the end of that, my head's just all like, woo. And, that's why it's like running a marathon where you're, just keeping it, just sort of like an even pace the whole time. That's why that works, is because I'm not, running full force the whole time and kicking up the vertigo.
So what do you do? What do you do to control the whole situation? What do you do to make it more better for you, so that way you don't get sick, or you don't get sick, or you don't get pain or whatever? What do you do to make it more soothing or relaxing for you? What is a good remedy that you can give out and say, hey, this is what I do for me, it might help somebody else?
It's I can't.
I mean, it varies for different people, I guess.
Well, in the first place, MS is known as a snowflake disease,
right?
As in, there's no two snowflakes alike. Well, there's no. They say in general sense, there's no. Each person who has multiple sclerosis, their symptoms may show differently. They may have different symptoms of the disease.
Okay.
And whereas, like I have vertigo and spasticity, it comes and goes, but mostly it's gone. I just stay physically active and do, like I was mentioning earlier, I do yoga on a daily basis, stretching, and I'm sure that helps immensely.
Okay.
And plus diet, nutrition.
Do they give you do you take medication for this as well, or
No?
Do they recommend any kind of medication?
Yes, medication is recommended. By the I'm not sure exactly who recommends it. I know doctors recommend it.
Well, I would hope it's a doctor.
Yeah. but I'm sure it's coming from,
If it's come from the zoologist, something's going bad.
Well, I'm sure it's coming from some medical authority at the top,
Okay.
But
you chose to do it naturally, and eating different and cutting out different foods and all that.
Right. I just, and I've been going this direction for a long time, for a few years. But here within the last year, I've definitely gone toward eating clean. It's what I went for was the MS Hope diet.
Right.
And that's pretty much what I'm doing. But the MS Hope diet is essentially eating clean.
Right.
With maybe not totally, but I eat as clean as possible. It's like if there's no stevia, which is an herbal sweetener, if there's no stevia available, nothing else available to for sweetener, then and I'm feeling like, okay, I need some sweetener in my coffee, then like this morning, okay, I'll go for sugar. But it's like, and like basically limit meats, go for more fish and chicken, poultry,
Right.
and a lot of veggies, fruit and veggies, and more that route. More, I drink sparkling water instead of soda pop,
Right.
and that, I'm sure that helps out immensely. But I don't know, I'm doing great, so it all helps
So
immensely.
did the doctors tell you like, if you do this and this and that, that's good. Do this, keep doing this and that. But if you don't, this is going to happen to you. This and that.
When I was first diagnosed with MS, when I first had symptoms and was doing my research,
Right.
looking online, talking to people who had MS, the couple people in my life that I knew had MS, and just friends on Facebook that have MS. I'm now since then I've become involved in
Right.
the entire MS community online, and it's like it's like from what I saw, there's this list. There's a couple different lists
Right.
of symptoms, potential symptoms of MS, multiple sclerosis, and that you can get, and basically I was, and plus there's the fact that they say left untreated multiple sclerosis, it'll only, and even treated, it can only get worse, never better.
Okay.
And so it's like, if I wasn't doing anything and not taking treatment, then who knows, I could lose my ability to run,
Oh, okay.
and be in a wheelchair,
Right.
in a few months, or maybe tomorrow, maybe a year.
So just keeping yourself physically moving and moving going running all the time, and it does good for your body then.
Yeah. I'm positive. I'm definitely a proponent of physical activity, staying physically fit.
Right.
Movement is the basic thing,
Wow.
Keep moving, at least keep your mind moving,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I can understand, if someone's in a wheelchair, and it's like if they're at that stage of their MS, obviously it's apparent that, I mean, who knows, maybe the day could come that they get out of that chair and start walking.
Okay.
Well, I'm not putting that as an impossibility, but it's like, just given that scenario that they are in the wheelchair at this stage,
Right.
I'm not going to say, hey, let work on physical therapy, and you can do this,
Yeah.
get up and walk one day. I'm not saying that, because
Okay.
that could potentially never happen. But just do what you can do,
Right.
Do what's within your current realm of possibility, or current realm of ability.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just was curious because I know my ex-wife, she has MS, and it's hard for her to walk, and she has to use a walker.
Yeah.
But at the same token, she needs to get around and move around, and walk and move and get involved and use the rubber bands. They tell them to use the rubber bands to do their arms and whatnot, etc. She doesn't really do that much, but I know she has MS, and it's really hitting her hard and stuff. So, I was just curious, that, like you said, it's the snowflake effect that every snowflake's not the same. So that's kind of understandable now. It's not like cancer. Cancer is pretty much diagnosed by the same because it's cancer. Everybody can tell it's cancer.
Yeah.
You said snowflake is not the same. That's just crazy that every one of the MS situations is different. They
Yeah.
attack or set different people and beat people's body different, I guess. You know.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like I've seen and heard people with MS. I've heard and seen them say, by seen I mean like online. But it's like one thing they say is, well, how can you say I don't have MS just by looking at me? I mean, maybe some people may look at me this way, and everyone could look at me this way and say, hey man, look at this guy, he's freaking running miles every day, there's no way he's got MS, you're lying.
Right.
But it's true, I do have multiple sclerosis. It's like I'm just at the very beginning stages of it, and I stay active, so I keep moving so that I can keep moving,
Right.
and so that my MS maybe it'll never move to a later stage because I stay active and basically treat my body right.
Right. You found the niche that keeps you going, that makes you happy, that makes your day an eventful day.
Yeah.
And you found that niche, and and I think that's a good way of telling anybody else out there that might have MS and whatnot to stay active, keep your body moving, whether you're older person or not. Try to keep yourself active. Try to keep moving your body, walking. If you can't run, walk, speed walk, or just take a walk. Even if it's slow walk, just walk around the park area or something,
Yeah, exactly. For instance, she doesn't have multiple sclerosis, but my mom, that, you've seen the pictures
Right.
on my social media. I'm going for like 9 and 13 mile walks with my mom, freaking would walk from this side of the Narrows Bridge all the way over the bridge into Gig Harbor,
Right.
to Cutter's Point, just to get a cup of coffee, and then walk back over. And
Right.
it's like
And she does it probably more for the moral support she's giving you, and at the same time you're supporting her because she's trying to keep her healthy, at her young age that she's at, So it works both ways for both of you guys.
Well, actually, the reason my mom started just getting out there and walking around town. Here a few years ago, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, she was up there at, she was weighed more than she does now. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
And anyway, she's lost like 80 pounds.
So she had a purpose for what she was doing, and she's accomplished some of that.
Right. Basically, same as me. Getting or staying physically fit.
Right.
And it's like since I started running, not necessarily every day, but just since I started running,
Right.
I've lost. I'm skinny as heck. I don't need to lose any more weight, and I'm not. That's not a goal anymore. And it wasn't necessarily a goal to begin with. But when I started running, I think I weighed 40 more pounds than I do now. So I've lost,
Wow.
it might have been 50, but I've lost 40 or 50 pounds since I started running. And I don't know. I lost it when I did my training and rode Seattle to Portland.
Right.
Bike ride, rode 150 miles or whatever it is. And then, I had lost 45 or 50 pounds, gained it back over a few years, and then I got into running, and it's gone again. So
good for you.
Yeah.
Good. And your mom, I forgot your mom's name again.
Marita.
Marita, good job. You accomplished a lot. Keep doing it, and you're an inspiration to other young ladies out there that want to, drop down in weight. Hey, share your story. Share whatever it is you did. Share it with them.
Yeah, and she walks. I want to say she's 63. Yeah, 63. She just turned 63.
She's not. She's 33. 33 with 30 years experience.
And she puts on like, I want to say, I know she's dropped down her miles, working it back up after an injury, but she puts on like, I don't know, 40 to 50 miles a week.
Wow.
Maybe a little more sometimes, just doesn't have a car anymore, currently anyway, so she just,
right,
walks everywhere.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's very good. She's doing a great job at it. And, everybody does different for weight and losing weight and whatnot. And I got a couple friends of mine that I know right now that they're one of them already got the stomach thing, the tie, whatever,
Oh yeah,
the stomach tied down and make it smaller, and now
gastric
thing, whatever,
gastric bypass.
Yeah. And now the lady's going to get her surgery done to cut off the excess skin that's hanging around, and then as well as her better half, he's going to get his bypass done as well, and then later on along the way they're going to cut off the excess skin and whatnot, and and everybody has a different way of doing that, and losing weight. I sometimes think I'm a little overweight, and I always think I got to lose some weight now, etc. But I stay active too. I try to stay working out and do my part, and then go golfing and stuff, and I might walk about I would say I might walk about 15, 20 miles while I'm golfing, even though I rent the cart out all the time to ride, but I get out and walk over, look for a ball, whatever, and walk up to hit my ball, walk back, walk on when I'm putting. So I get my walk in,
Yeah.
So, I get the cart in so I can just hurry up. So I won't be, trying to hurry up and get going. So people will be trying to hit me with the ball.
Yeah. I was looking online, and so far as I saw something about running in golf, and I thought, running in golf, that sounds interesting. So I was reading up on it a little bit, and there's guys that run around the entire.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of elderly guys that walk. They walk at the golf course, and they're like 70 years old. They push their court little thing, and they walk it, and which is good because it's like I would say about a good 30 miles, maybe 30, 35 miles. So they get their walk on. It's great. I mean, golf is another sport that I respect now because you can go out there and walk the course when you're playing golf. Walk it, and you get your exercise in.
That would 30 to 35. That would be an awful big course.
You figured the front 9 and back 9. It could be 20, 25, maybe at the most 20.
Yeah. Well, that would be interesting, to find out. Maybe we should do that because I ran around the Chambers Bay Golf Course, and it's like right around 4 miles.
4 miles?
Around the outside of the course.
Okay, but the thing is with the golfing, when the guys go out there, they go out there and go find their ball. Either they hit the ball somewhere and then they can't find it. They walking around trying to find it. They're walking here and there and walking back and forth. Then somebody will say, it's back here. And he's got to go back 20 feet back where he came from. So he's got to go back. Yeah. So then he hits the ball. Then he's got to come back up, find the ball again, wherever he's at. So they got extra steps. I got a friend of mine that I play with. And I'm going to ask him, that what is his when we play, what is his daily mileage when he walks the course, how many miles he walks,
right on.
And see what he says. He walks all the time, so I'm gonna ask him. I think he has a Fitbit with him all the time,
okay.
It'll tell him how many miles he's walked.
Yeah,
but walking and golfing is great, so kudos to the guys that walk on the golf course, and me, I ride and golf and walk a little.
Yeah. There's it's like I've golfed. One of my friends I've golfed with there a few times. He always rented a cart, and I just walked around the course, and while he's over there riding in his cart, and he offered me a ride, and I'm like, no, that's okay. I'll walk.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just always moving, always doing something.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I just thought I'd pick your brain on that. I wasn't sure of the MS thing, how it affect different people and stuff.
Yeah. It's and it's like another. I do wear eyeglasses, but I just don't wear them for the show because I have to be able to read the computer screen and for the production aspect, and if I need to read anything else or look at my phone, then I don't need my glasses.
Right.
And it's like I can see you're a little fuzzy, but
Well, I got to shave my hair a little bit, a little fuzzy,
but a little blurry. But this is another symptom of my MS, and
Okay.
they say it's because my optic nerve must be affected by the MS. But it's like which I'm down with that because I had 20/20 vision up until the car accident that
Right.
tripped off my MS.
Okay.
And the blurry vision was another symptom I noticed immediately after the car accident. I was standing on the front porch. I was smoking cigarettes back then, and standing out on the front porch smoking a cigarette the night after my wreck or the next night, and looked up, and the moon was up there in the sky. I was looking at it, and I was seeing two, or maybe sort of overlapping, and I'm like, what? Maybe I ought to get that looked at. So it's like,
You could be an alien.
So sure enough, I needed eyeglasses, they said, so.
Well, at least you
And now I only see one moon.
that's good, because I was about to say, if you see 3 moons, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that you explained that to me. I just didn't know the irony about all that, the MS stuff. Like I said, my ex-wife has it, and just sad. Feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for her. I feel bad for her, but she had a tough year last year with the COVID stuff. She almost lost her to COVID and stuff. She had COVID real bad, and she's in a home, so she's in a facility home and stuff. But the place that she was at, wasn't treating her well. So my daughter was out there and kind of got help to get her moved to another facility that's a lot better.
Oh, okay.
And so she's in a facility that's a lot better and stuff and whatnot. So, but from my last, I talked to my daughter. She said that she's doing well. She's doing good and stuff. And so I'm hoping that she's up and moving around and trying to keep herself healthy as well. Because she did lose a lot of weight at the same time too. She lost a lot of weight, and now she's back to eating good. So I guess she's back on her weight. So I'm hoping she's doing good. So I just wanted to touch bases on that. I wasn't sure how the effectiveness of MS is.
Yeah. It's like and to sort of back up on that, I was just thinking about this to explain a little more about multiple sclerosis, what I know about it. There's, like I said, that my vision was a little blurry there, or is blurry since the car accident. And there's it's like I'm nearsighted or farsighted, whatever it is. I can like read up close,
Right.
but if something's the further away it is, it gets blurry,
Right.
Blurrier. And so at any rate, what I was going to say about that is that MS, the disease, it's an autoimmune disease which affects your nervous system and causes lesions on your nervous system. Well, mine, apparently I have one or whatever on my optic nerve.
Right.
But the disease can attack or affect 3 different affects the central nervous system, which is made up of your spinal cord, your optic nerve, and your brain. Oh. And so last I knew, all my lesions are on my brain.
Wow.
And apparently one of those affects my optic nerve, or I might have a small one on my optic nerve that affects my vision.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's clear and self-explanatory there. So.
And I do believe I read somewhere, maybe I heard it at one of the talks I've been to, that if you're walking, I could be wrong, but it seems as though I heard that if your walking is affected, like if you don't walk too well when you have MS, something about the lesion being on your spinal cord that would affect that.
Right.
So, but then again, thinking back, after my brain injury, I had to relearn to walk again. So, and the bruises were on my brain. So I don't know what the connection is there, but.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Well, doctors know what they're talking about. So you can't argue with the doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, I was just trying to dig in your brain there and try to figure out, what the, I mean, because, I know I don't know much on it and stuff. So that's why I was like, let me ask him and stuff because, I know, like I said, my ex-wife has it. I'm not sure. I think my oldest son has a slight MS too. I think because he was playing football at St. Paul, Minnesota, in the college out there. Then he got hurt and he had muscle weakness with working out, and the bench press fell on him, and I think he got something tested and all that, and they figured out he might have MS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was getting weak as far as working out. So he wanted that to be a career, to be a football player like his uncle, but it didn't pan out that way. So now he does fitness. He does fitness for youth, all that. He does what is it called? Let me see. Battle Tested. It's called Battle Tested. So he's got a thing on YouTube called Battle Tested Fitness something, and he helps youth staying fit and shape and all that, and kids that are, I think, battling MS or whatever too as well. Yeah. So he also, he's got a little workout stuff that he does. Battle Tested workout something. Battle Tested something that he does. It's on YouTube, so I got to look it up and see too as well. Because I know he's got a whole bunch of stuff that he does on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
right on. That's pretty cool. Even though we may have stuff going on with us, we can still help other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and being also being faith. A person with faith and trust in a higher power, that there's the healing of the body and stuff. Yeah. I'm reminded of one of my posting sayings that I had said, "Give God your weakness, and He'll give you His strength." And and that just says a lot. Just when you hear something like that, it just tells you a lot that have faith, and hope. And know that that you're doing it as well. Physically, you're doing everything you have to do to keep yourself physically able and strong, while at the same time the power of prayer and faith and hope and all that also has the other half of that. They come together and they work together.
Yeah. It's I've heard it said with cuss words, and I'm not gonna cuss on the air. No.
We have to chop it up.
Yeah, but basically, I'm trying to think of the softer way of saying it. Basically, I've heard some people say, there's a phrase out there, like basically. Pray in one hand and essentially pray in one hand, crap in the other, and see which fills up the fastest. But it's like that's sort of for non-believers or agnostics or whatever. But it's like, I guess that really doesn't apply to this aspect. But it's like what you were saying. is like prayer helps, and having faith helps. But if I'm not doing anything
Right.
if I'm not doing anything to move from A to B, then it does. If I just pray, okay, help me get to B from here at A, but I'm not doing anything to get to B, then what's going to happen? I may not move to B.
Well, it has to be a connection.
Yeah.
You have to just take a scenario, just like a vehicle, a car. You have a key, and you go sit in the car, but you don't put it into the ignition switch and turn it. You just sit there with the key. Well, you got the key, and you think the key is just sitting in there holding on to it. It's going to start just sitting there. No.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to make the connection, and then once you make the connection, you have to participate.
Yeah.
Turn the key. Guess what? Now it started. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get to A to B and then so forth. So
yeah, it's like a partnership sort of deal. Okay, hey, please help me, but you're asking, please help me, and so it's like you have to do your part, to be helped along the way.
Exactly. So I think we got to figure it out.
Well, sort of the bottom basics, to get started anyway. I figured the day I have it all figured out, I'll be 6 feet under.
It'll be fine. Yeah, I think you'll still be hanging around. You'll still be running around here somewhere.
True that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's good. You're just so you know, you always amaze me when you're out taking off running. I'm like, that guy never stops, man. When is he going to stop? I mean, Shane always tells me stories that, I see him one day, he's bruised up. What happened to you, Shane? Oh, I was running, I hit the curb, something, or hit the cracked concrete, fell over and fell into the fence. But that does not discourage him. He still gets up and still goes running. That's a person that has his goals and has everything, his ducks lined up in order, and he just goes for it no matter what. Doesn't stop him. He fell into the fence, got up, shook it off, a little scrape, bruises, whatever, a little bit of blood, whatever, and boom, back off to the races.
Yesterday morning, my mom and I were walking out to there at Point Defiance. We walked down through Point Defiance on the trail out on Owen Beach, there to the end, almost to the end. We're walking across the clay,
right,
and it was still wet from the tide going out, and walked across and made it across okay going out. Coming back, there was one spot where I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I slipped and fell on my butt, and it's like, my mom's like, ow, that looked like it hurt. Maybe we better stop for a minute, and I'm like, yeah, it's pain, it'll go away, and I just got back up and kept walking. I would say dust it off, but it was a little muddy from the clay being wet, so I just went down to the water. And
you're a glutton for punishment there, Shane.
Yeah.
But that's good because some people can't take some pain. Some people they might fall like you did on there and give up and say, you know what, turn back around. I'll forget this. I'm not walking the rest of it. Forget this. Some people just give up, and sometimes it takes a little pain to keep you moving, keep you realizing that hurt, but they ain't gonna just stop me from doing what I'm doing. I'm still gonna keep going,
Yeah.
And so that's the right attitude. Mentally, you'll know if you really hurt yourself really, really bad.
Yeah.
Then you have to say, okay, wait a minute. That seems like I might have broke my bone or bent my finger back. I got to go see a doctor. Then you stop and go do the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it's something that you can say, I scraped myself on this one, I guess no big deal. Let's just keep going. I'm not going to. I'm determined. Determination gets you a lot. Get you further out because you're determined. Your heart determination is what keeps you going.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reminded of the situation with the young lady. What is it? Johnson, I think. Is it Johnson? The track and field girl. They're gonna disqualify Sharice Johnson, I think, or something like that. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to.
Seems like I heard something the other day about that.
But she qualified for the Olympics, and because she had a little bit of marijuana in her system, they want to disqualify her for. But she's in a country where they just made weed is legal. It's not, and that is not an enhancer to her to make her faster in running. So they want to disqualify her because of that. That's ridiculous. I mean, there's a lot of people bringing it up on the internet, talking about it because it just doesn't make no sense.
Mm.
You made it legal to people sell it. You have marijuana dispensaries that are selling it. So why you disqualify somebody that has nothing to do with enhancing her ability? So I'm praying and hoping that they somehow along the way an attorney might look at them, pick it up, and say, "Look, that's wrong. You can't disqualify a woman for that. While you selling, you open dispensaries in the United States as a business now. How are you going to make it that disqualifying her for something that's a natural herb?"
Yeah.
So just sad. I was just thinking, that those are the top stories that are out here that I read earlier, and so it just a lot of stuff that you see on the news every day. It's like, why? Some stuff that doesn't make sense. Some stuff she's like, why did that have to happen? Why? So we just got to be mindful about things that we go through and stuff, and what we see out here that we have to look at and say, what can we do to be better at what's going on out there in the community or on the world and stuff. What can I do? From where I'm at, what can I do to help? Well, everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to help out and make things better.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like I haven't read or heard all the research, or maybe enough. I haven't read or heard enough research to actually have a I have an opinion, but not a. Oh man, the word's slipping. The word's not coming to mind. Educated opinion, maybe.
Right.
I think that's what I'm trying to come up with. I don't think my opinion's educated. I don't have enough education to back this one up. Anyway, since marijuana's become legal, I still haven't gone into that, delved into that arena. But I've had it suggested to me that maybe I start, or that I could, maybe smoke a little weed or do, take, which I have actually started, I got into it there for a while. I was taking CBD oil.
Yeah.
And, putting a dab of that under my tongue and swallowing, taking that in. But it's like, other than that, I haven't done anything so far as the marijuana, being legal.
Right.
And all that. People say I could use it to treat my multiple sclerosis. Well, as of right now, I'm doing fine. So why should I, go back to that? Back in the day, I used to smoke weed all the time, as much as possible. Back in my teens when I drank and did drugs, but it's like I haven't touched it since then, and it's like I've been around it, but haven't. And like I say, I've done the CBD oil, which that just does wonders.
Right.
So far as my experience with it.
Yeah, the young lady Sha'Carri Richardson. That's who it is. Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, Sha'Carri. That's
Yeah,
right.
and she ran the track and field and won it, and she phenomenal speed. And she's a young lady, 21 years old. She was always told that she'll never be a great runner because she's only 5'1", whatever. But she proven everybody wrong. She proved everybody wrong while she ran the fastest time, and she qualified for the Olympics in Japan or China. And then all of a sudden, because she has some marijuana in her system, they want to take her off from it and say, "Oh no, you got marijuana in your system." Well, some people take TCB and, like you say, CBD and all that stuff for body ailments, whatever, etc. That is not an enhancer to enhance her ability like steroids. They would have been different. They would say steroids. She got steroids in her body. She took it to enhance her ability. That's different. This has nothing to do with enhancing an ability. If anything, that marijuana doesn't enhance you. It makes you groggy, or it affects people differently. I would say that people, a lot of marijuana affects people differently. I remember when I used to smoke it, it put me to sleep, made me tired.
Yeah.
Other people that I know, they smoking, they're wide awake doing their normal stuff. It's the normalcy for them.
Yeah, I just don't understand those people, because whenever I used to smoke weed, it's like I'd get all stoned and everything and just be like, oh man.
So it's just, I don't know. I thought I'd just kind of bring that up. I mean, news pops up and I see something flashing news break, and all of a sudden, and I think the other one was quote the ex-president made a comment that the president now, that he's not a patriotic president. And so it's like, well, why? Because he didn't want to hold the 4th of July event up at Mount Rushmore, whatever they was telling me. They were supposed to have a big old event, but because he felt that the COVID stuff and all that's still prevalent, he didn't want to put people in that situation, so he didn't want to go through with it. Yeah. So the ex-president made a comment, oh, he's a non-patriotic individual, first time ever president being like that, But, so be it, I mean, I don't like getting into the political side of all that stuff. I don't like being a political basher and all that stuff. Yeah. So I just leave it alone. It just seemed to pop up on my phone too. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, in that arena and in a lot of media.
Yeah.
It's like, they use the media to, as an arena as a fighting arena to bash down the other guys so that they look better. I enjoyed talking about just simple stuff.
Yeah. And anything we talk about on here, we're just I want to make sure that we're clearing ourselves up and that we're going off of news facts that pops up on our phone or in our news flash that pops up. So we're not getting in depth into it. We just bring it up. Hey, look at this popped up. So anything we say, we speak on, it's by facts on our phones. It's facts that we're talking about. We're not here to talk about news all the time. We're kind of like, we're doing the hit and miss, topics here and there. We talked about MS, about your situation. Yeah. We talked about my life, about a little bit about the gang life and et cetera and stuff, to try to help our parents kind of more understand. I think the next thing I'm going to do on the next topic for Too Strong to Go Wrong, I'll try to educate the parents on the clothing attire that kids wear to connect with gang life. So that way parents know if their kid buying too much certain clothes or this kind of baseball hats and baseball shoes, this color, that they're connected with gang. If they're wearing that a lot, that means that they're trying to signify themselves as a gang individual. So I want to open the door up for the parents so they can understand the clothing attire that's out there, because the baseball hats and football jerseys and football hats and football jerseys, all that stuff that out there, they're connected with the gang stuff. the gangs took that into their culture of gang violence, and they wear that as a symbol so people can recognize what neighborhood they from.
Oh,
so I want to be able to, connect that with the parents so they can kind of, if anybody watching the show, they can see what I'm bringing to the table too, so they can know what to look for in their kids if they think their kids get involved in gangs. So that'll be on the next one, what we'll do on the next show. I'm looking forward to trying to bring in a guest speaker, somebody bring in a guest speaker so that way we can talk to other people and stuff that have been there, done that, but was involved in that life and stuff. So I'm putting something together so we can have some different topics and touch with different people, talk with different people.
Yeah. All right. That sounds cool. Right on. And with that, it's about that time, I guess. Yeah, it's about that time. So I guess we'll just wrap it up for today, this week, and I'll just say, stay kind, optimistic, and grateful, and have a phenomenal day and a phenomenal week. And we'll catch you next Sunday at 7 a.m. for Too Strong to Go Wrong, and at 8 o'clock next Sunday morning Pacific time for Positive Vibes. And until then, peace.
Peace, love, and happiness.
Later.
Blessings.